Hello everybody, my name is PsyStarcraft and this is the After Hours Gaming League. A gaming league originally started by Day9 and normally casted by Day9, but today I'm going to be filling in because he's got other stuff to do. Today is going to be IBM versus Microsoft. The After Hours Gaming League, if you're not familiar, is a league that puts several different companies, well-known companies, IBM, Microsoft, Epic, Zynga, Facebook, all kinds of different companies like that, against each other in the StarCraft arena, similar to how you might have a company softball game or baseball game or something like that. So it's a lot of fun. They are playing for charity. Last year's AHGL, the finals were between Epic and IBM. IBM fell, unfortunately. But hopefully they can do better this year rather. And in the top right we have Shusaki from IBM, fancy little scoreboard in the top there. And in the bottom left we have Luminescent representing Team Microsoft. Protoss versus Zerg, a matchup I'm familiar with if you frequent my channel. And we'll see what happens. Now remember, this is Heart of the Swarm, so the metagames aren't completely figured out right now. In Zerg versus Protoss, Swarm Host's pretty powerful. Vipers don't see a lot of play. I'm trying to think of all the new units that they use. Remember the changes to the Mothership Core. The Mothership Core now has that Time Warp ability, the ability that the Oracle used to have. So the Oracle has the detection ability now, and the Mothership Core has the Time Warp ability. So the score is 0-0, as you can see at the top. It is a best of 5 series. And each team has, I believe, 5 players? 4 players? Something like that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. You guys can just look at the scoreboard at the top. That's all you have to worry about. Luminescent being pretty annoying with his probe. Looks like he wants to deny us the expansion. Shusaki not even going to try for a 15 hatch. Probably smart. If you put all your eggs in the 15 hatch basket and you get blocked off with a pylon, you end up pulling a lot of minerals, which is never good. And he is able to drop that down, so nice heads up play by Shusaki. Sometimes you're able to stab that probe away and get that hatchery down, even if they are trying to block it off. Meanwhile, Shusaki going old school with the Forge first and the Nexus. Now the reason we don't see this as much anymore is because players like to get the Gateway and Cybernetics Core out fast so they can get the Mothership Core, establish some map control, maybe come to the towers and shoot down a couple lings, maybe harass the mineral line, things like that. Mothership Core just makes you feel a lot safer, especially against 6 pools. I think a Forge first would actually be safer against a 6 pool still, but no one really 6 pools anymore, so don't have to worry about that. As you can see in Heart of the Swarm, they do have unbuildable plates, just random unbuildable plates that happen to be at the entrance to every single base. Unfortunately, there's only 2 bases on this, so I don't know why I'm going to the corner. This prevents any kind of wall off. Zerg love this a lot. I mean, yeah, you could theoretically take it down and then wall someone off, but they have 400 life. That's a lot of life for a little tiny probe to take out, you know. Luminescent now chrono boosting his Nexus, and a quick third from Shusaki, so this is really old school. They're both playing as if it's Wings of Liberty. I don't know how much experience these guys have in Heart of the Swarm, but they're playing like it's the Wings of Liberty. Now that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like I said, the metagame hasn't really been fully discovered in Heart of the Swarm. Things constantly changing, constantly being patched, so not criticizing, just pointing it out. Nice little counters here. Worker counters for the observers. Shusaki looks like he's still rallying to his main hatchery. Now he should be starting to send these guys to the 2nd and 3rd hatchery. You don't want to get too oversaturated in your main base here. No aggression to be seen yet. This probe just kind of skittering around. Oh, is this link going to see the... Yes, it does. And this is actually really important because if Luminescent had any idea of sending out a proxy pylon, that's kind of shut down now. And this probe might go down. He might be able to get away, though. There's no gas on the way for Shusaki, so there's not going to be speed anytime soon. This probe probably will survive. Looks like he just wanted to scout anyway, not going to be seeing any pylon. So that's not too bad, I suppose. He is going to be able to see that hatchery has finished. Is there any Roachhorn or gas? Here comes the gas. Typical Zerg timing, getting 2 gases at once. He's probably going to take these 2 gases at the same time, around 60 supply or so. Right now, 45 out of 46. Zell just kind of hanging out. Zell's like, why is this wall off so big? I can't cover all this. I'm not an obese Snorlax. It's not going to work. Got a robotics facility. Pretty standard. Nothing too cheesy. No Dark Templar or anything like that. Probably going to pop out an observer or 2 first. Here comes the Mothership Core. And this is what I mean by the map control. These lings aren't going to be able to sit down and just take the towers like Zerg always are able to. Is he going to just ignore it? Okay, there we go. Run, Zergling! Run, you poor little guy! Nope, not going to happen. Got some creep spread going on for Shusaki. Shusaki. It's going to become annoying to say if this match goes on too much longer. And a Roach Warren. Oh, this poor little Overlord. The Sentry wants to be a Stalker. I don't know if it's going to happen, though. 5, 6 damage every second. No, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. The Overlord's going to scoot away. Luminescent trying to get some kills with this Mothership Core. Get that drone out of there! Oh, one drone going down. This Queen can solo a Mothership Core. It's very close. But I believe a Queen can solo a Mothership Core, so... Mothership Core are much more expensive as well, so you don't really want to try to fight a Queen. You never know when the Queen might have one of her sisters coming up to help it. So if you check out the Harvester tab, it's 54 to 47. Shusaki on 3 bases, Luminescent on 2. Not seeing any kind of aggression yet. Looks like he's throwing down a couple more gateways and content to get some Immortals. No observers to be seen, just the Mothership Core. Now, I guess he doesn't need observers unless he needs detection because the Mothership Core is pretty beefy, considering how early you can get it. And it can do some scouting of its own. He knows a third is on the way. Let's see if he's seen any kind of Roach Warren. He hasn't seen any kind of tech at all, so unusual that he's just blindly making Immortals. Hopefully it'll work out. I mean, Roach is not the greatest against Immortals. 22 Lings on the way as well. Third base for Luminescent. Yeah, it looks like he's going to be moving out. Link speed almost complete, so this is going to be a pretty good timing. These Links are going to soak up a lot of Immortal damage, and with this kind of attack, it's really up to the Sentries, which I don't see any of. Don't see any Sentries that can force field. Shusaki floating some cash, needs to spend that straight away. 105 supply to 79 supply, so this attack might do a bit of damage depending on how well Luminescent is able to manage his Immortals. And remember, there is Purify that allows the Nexus to become a long-range weapon for 60 seconds. He needs to get that Mothership Core up here, though, if he wants that to happen. Lings going in first. Oh, no, wait for the Roaches. Lings, there they are. No Roach speed yet. The lair is just now on the way, so this is a T1 push, you guys. This is not Roach speed. There are no upgrades. There's a single range upgrade on the way, but yeah, it's hard to see this attack doing so much, especially now that he's pulled back and is going a different route. This Observer just kind of hanging out in the front, preventing any kind of burrow play. And it looks like Luminescent will be able to hold this, so Team Microsoft looking pretty good. If we check out Harvesters, they're going to be ready to transfer to that third base here in a second. You don't want too many probes on your first and second base because they'll mine out too fast. And that's never a good thing. Taking a 6th base here from Shusaki and a Macro Hatch. Lair is almost complete. Going to be interested to see what kind of tech he goes. If he does go Swarm Host, Heart of the Swarm style, or if he just kind of is content to just, you know, make some more Roaches with speed and just smash his face into the Protoss army. We'll have to see. Like I said, I don't know how much Heart of the Swarm experience either of these guys have. We are just seeing more Roaches in the production tab. Hydra down on the way. These Hydra's going to be pretty scary. Now, I'm not sure I agree with this Hydra transition, just because you know he has a robotics facility. It's only a matter of time before the robotics bay comes in, and as we know, Hydra's not so great against Colossi. Hydra's not a big fan of them. Melt those Hydras down pretty damn fast. And here comes some Lings. Oh no, no force fields. And if he wants to try to push up this ramp, that'll be a terrible idea. These force fields will just cut that army in half. Wants to push it out the third. How many gateways do we have here now for the Protoss player? We've got 10 gateways, so he's going to be able to reinforce fast, not quite as fast as the Zerg player. And we're kind of reaching the point where the Zerg really needs to produce some kind of T3 units or some effective T2 units like Mutas or Infestors. If you just go Roach, Ling, Hydra against a gateway army with, you know, a couple Colossi from the toss, it's not going to work. You need Corruptors for the Colossi, maybe some Mutas to try to pick off some Sentries or do some worker harassment or counterattacks. You just can't really get it done with mass Roach Ling, so we are seeing some Hydras, but we know the robotic space complete. Thermal Lances is on the way, as well as one Colossus. He's taking a 4th base. I'm not sure I like that positioning for the 4th base. This might be a little better. Although, the problem with this base is Warp-ins, man. They are killer. You can put a pylon down here, pylon over here. Lots of places to really just pick away at it. Creep continuing to spread. Check out the Harvesters, 72 to 63. Zerg could stand to get a couple more Harvesters. You want to sit between that 70 to 80 mark. Does the Protoss have this tower? No, the Zerg has the tower, but the Protoss can see this army. He is ready. He is begging the Zerg to move up this ramp, but no, Zerg's going to say, not today. I know you're sitting up there. I can see you. This tower. Well, I'll mostly you anyway. I know you're there anyway. Don't be silly. Zerg now maxed out. Needs to make something happen soon. A maxed out Zerg T1/T2 army, not any match for just a couple Colossi. And sentries. Still only 2 sentries. That's surprising. That might get Zerg where he needs to go. Sentries, very important against roaches. Very, very important against roaches. You cannot let them get next to your army. It turns ugly fast, man. Turns ugly fast. Hive on the way, as well as Ventral Sack. So we're going to be seeing some drop play from the Zerg. That'd be pretty interesting. 2 Colossi now out. 3 robotics facilities. So he's 3 base, 3 robotics facilities. This is going to be so darn ugly for the Zerg if he doesn't do something fast. He needs something. Ultralisks, Corruptors, Broodlords, anything. Throw away this army. You cannot turtle as a Zerg with 200 and let Toss get to 200 as well. Shusaki needs to get something done. This is not the route to go, though. He needs to bust down these rocks. There we go. But still, he's got plenty of force field energy. He's got 8 force fields stored up. He can block this ramp twice. He is going to bust down those rocks and run away. Oh, man. I am dreading the moment these 2 armies engage because there are just more and more Colossi coming out. +3 on the way. Are we seeing any kind of T3 tech out of Shusaki? We are about to, but I don't know if it's going to be fast enough. He's going to have to throw away some of his units to make that happen. This Overlord's just kind of, or this Observer's just kind of sitting over the Zerg army. I think this is just going to be a one and done. This Toss is going to move in with 5, 6 Colossi here and just completely destroy the Zerg army. It's going to be a fast little game here. You cannot be this passive as Zerg when you hit 200. You got to do something. 2 more Colossi on the way. Here we are, blinking in, trying to snipe some Overlords. No, sniping some Creep Tumors. Zerg counterattacking with some Lynx, but bringing back the Roaches and Hydras to deal with the army. This base is definitely going to go down. Zerg's like, I can't fight that. I need to wait for my Vipers. 2 Vipers on the way. If he can get those Vipers, consume some of his buildings for energy, and maybe pull or cloud some of the Protoss units, he might have an Ice Cube's chance in hell, but I don't know, man. This is not looking good for the Zerg. He's trying to do a full run by into the main. He has succeeded, but there's an unusually placed cannon here, so that's pretty cool. Luminescent able to kill some of those Lings with that cannon, but still, this is what matters right here. 6 Vipers on the way. Where are those 2 Vipers? They need to start consuming straight away. Don't know if it's going to happen. These Lings doing a lot of damage. Holy cow. If we check out the Harvester count, it's now 62 to 64. Toss is like, I don't care, man. I have 3,000 minerals, 1,000 gas floating. You can kill however many workers you want. That just makes my army bigger. +3 attack almost finished. He even has an armor upgrade as well. So these Vipers, there we go. That's what these Vipers need to be doing. Now, we might see a combination of Clouds and Abducts. Cloud, of course, disables melee attacks or disables ranged attacks on whatever is clouded. And the Abduct, of course, pulls the units into the Viper. So that allows you to pick off Colossi. The Cloud, of course, good against all ranged units of any variety. And here we go. Are we going to see Abduct? Yes, we are going to see 1, 2, 3 Abduct, 3 Colossi dying immediately. But there's still 2 Colossi on the way. I don't know if the Zerg can handle this. Oh, but the Protoss flanking, getting another Colossus picked off. Is the Zerg reinforcing? He needs to reinforce right away. He's still at 147 out of 200. Does he have any larvae? Yes, he's got plenty of larvae. We need to see some more units coming out from the Zerg. 10, 27 Roaches, 3 more Vipers. I think all those Vipers fell, actually. Still 2 Colossi on the way. Some great Abducts. Maybe 1 or 2 Clouds would have helped minimize some of the damage those Colossi did before they were abducted. Or the ones that weren't abducted, rather. Toss still sitting comfortably on 3 bases while the Zerg's been reduced to 2. That poor little drone didn't stand a chance, getting one-shotted by that Colossi. 42 damage. And I don't know how this is going to go without any more Vipers. This Colossi, still 3 of them. Here they are, 2 Vipers, 3 Vipers out in the field. Need to see some consuming. Toss just kind of bouncing back and forth. 3 more Colossi on the way. I need to see a proxy pylon here. But he doesn't even care, man. He's got 3 robotics facilities. Why do I need a proxy pylon when I've got all these robo bays, robo facilities? Zerg pushing the Toss back. Toss at 179 out of 200. And you know, that run by with the Lings did more damage than we think. You'd think the Toss, with all that money he has pulled up, would be able to reinforce better, but he's still only 179 out of 200, and he doesn't have a lot of money left over. But so, oh, 2, 3 Abducts! Picking off 3 Colossi! Holy cow! 3 Colossi remain, but that was sick! Blinking in, sniping 1 or 2 Vipers. And I don't know, man. There's still a lot of Colossi, but there's no force fields. This Zerg might have a chance. There's still, how many, what? 3 Immortals sitting in the back, hiding under those Colossi, making me think the Zerg did have a better army. But man, I wonder how many kills these Immortals have. 11 kills, 9 kills, and where are you? 4 kills. This is so close. I don't know what's going to happen. I've never seen Vipers used primarily for abduct, but it seems to be doing the job. Shusaki showing us something that we may not see that often. So that's pretty cool. I want to see a couple clouds though. Vipers are kind of one of the most controversial units in Heart of the Swarm. It's really hard to say if they're worth it or not. They cost so much gas, and you know how precious gas is for Zerg players. We need to see some consumes here. Consume 200 life in exchange for 50 energy over 20 seconds. We got a Void Ray here as well. That's kind of unusual. There's Hydras in the mix of this army, so the Void Ray, I don't know if I agree with. Maybe an Oracle for some harassment or something would have been better, but, you know, never hurts to have more units, regardless of what they are. That's exactly what the TOS has, now maxed out compared to the Zerg's 196. Third hatch going down, and TOS sitting comfortably on 4 bases now. So are we going to see some pro abducts again? Is that going to get the Zerg where he needs to go? 1 abduct! No, not enough energy for any other abducts. The Zerg army has no choice. He can't lose his natural. These Colossi just doing so much damage. We got 9 kills, 5 kills, and these Roaches and Hydras are not enough. He tried to go that T3 route with the Vipers, but they just couldn't hold up to the huge number of Colossi there. And Luminescent is going to take the first game for Team Microsoft, bringing the count. So 1 point for Microsoft and 0 for Team IBM.